I mean, you guys, the opioid crisis, which, up until a year and a half ago, we were winning the fight with, which is getting people off of opioids, because 60,000 people a year are dying for properly prescribed medications. And there was a huge concerted effort. And I was part of that effort. We were working with governors and states and all kinds of people to make sure that we could get people off opioids, but we needed a solution for that. And we had solutions for it. But then COVID hit. And then we kind of got away from that. And now opioids are going off the charts again. We have a solution for pain control and inflammation, and all the inflammation in your gut. Inflammation, you can talk to any doctor. They'll tell you that inflammation is a leading cause of heart disease, dementia, Parkinson's, all this kind of stuff. Now, here's what it's been shown also to help with. It's been shown to help with pain and inflammation. You guys write this down and remember this. Pain and inflammation. Cholesterol balance. You guys, that's a big one. One of the main things that I see with everybody that sends me their blood work is their HDL is too low and their LDL is too high. By the way, there's no such thing as good or bad cholesterol. And by the way, they're more protein than they are fat, but that's just the facts. And if you want to balance your cholesterols out, Xanthohumol has been shown to do that. Okay, now listen to me. I'm not telling you this is a cure for cancer, but if you look at the one sheeter that we have, there's all the data and research that you can go and look at. It has something called anti-angiogenesis. I'll say it again, anti-angiogenesis. What does that mean? Well, cancer gets its own blood supply, and it prevents blood supplies going to cancer. That's why when you do like a PET scan or a CT or whatever, they look for the hot spots. It's because where there's a high amount of blood flow going, that's where cancer cells grow. So it's anti-angiogenesis. This is a VIP thing. It prevents triglyceride levels from increasing. This is a big deal. I see this on so many of you. The reason why your triglycerides are high, which by the way, remember, triglycerides are half fat, half sugars. Half fat, half sugars, mostly caused by overconsumption of carbohydrates. Okay. Too many carbohydrates equals too high triglycerides. Now, listen to me. When triglycerides go high, leptin goes low. Leptin is a hormone that's produced in the body that lets your brain realize it's full. Okay. So when triglycerides go high, leptin goes low. We crave more sweets. We crave more foods. We crave when we're stressed out. We crave in the middle of the night, cravings. That's also like the time that we need like soul food or stress eat. Okay. So it prevents triglycerides from going high, and it reduces, it'll improve it'll help your leptin levels get up so that your brain feels full. It tricks your brain into doing it. That's what Xanthohumol has been proven to do. What else? Oh, this is a big one. Here, let me go with this. Cardiovascular events. Xanthohumol has been proven to reduce thrombosis, which are blood clots, right? What happens is you get a blood clot, it goes to the brain, you get a stroke, it goes to the heart, you get a heart attack. So the research shows that it prevents the blockages to the brain or strokes, blockages to the heart or heart attacks. Research proves that it can help with that. Now, is this a drug that's going to fix everything you've got? No, this is a supplement. This is something that you're not getting into your diet. So we're not making any claims that this is like going to cure everything in your life, but this plus a balanced diet plus minimizing your stress, exercising is a game changer. Why would you not take Xanthohumol, the HapiHumol product, which I'm just now talking about one component of it. There's plenty more components that I have to get into yet. It can reduce all this stuff. It also reduces what's called free radical damage, which is the antioxidants, but the damage that happens, the rusting we talked about, I mean, it's what that does is unbelievable. It lowers your LDL. It reduces LDL from oxidizing. Oxidative stress caused by free radicals in your LDL leads to hardening of the arteries. That's arterial and atherosclerosis. That's what leads to heart attacks. So if it reduces the LDL from oxidation, isn't that kind of a big deal? I would say yes. Absolutely yes. I already talked to you about how it can help with weight loss because of the leptin production, and it doesn't allow fat to get in the fat cells. Amazing. It also helps the production of GABA. And you hear us talk about that with our other products, especially the coffee and the Happy Caps. GABA is a neurotransmitter that's made in the gut, in the small intestine, that then travels to the brain. GABA is necessary. Here's what GABA does. A couple things, but I want you to see this. Number one, it reduces stress and depression. So people are talking about cortisol. So can this help with cortisol levels? Yes. Helps with the stress response. It reduces brown fat production. Do you guys know the difference between white fat and brown fat? Brown fat is the stuff that's hard to burn. That's the hormonal fat. That's the love handles and the saddlebags. I don't know how else to say it other than that's what it is. It's the love handles and saddlebags. Brown fat is hard to burn. This stops the production of brown fat. It can reduce it. GABA. It improves growth hormone levels. Growth hormone is so important in the body. GABA improves growth hormone. So the more growth hormone we have, the better our body can heal itself. That's a very, very big deal. Okay. The product is called HapiHumol. Okay. And it's ready to go. We launched it this morning. HapiHumol. All of you are asking about it. HapiHumol. GABA also increases focus. So this is good for all of us adults with ADD or ADHD. Good for your kids as well. Improves energy, improves well-being, which is an overall sense of just feeling well and healthy, which is a very important thing. And it also helps improve mood. I mean, this is a powerful, powerful tool. It also helps. Oh, this is a big deal. I want to share with you with this as well. It improves restful sleep, which is a big deal because most people, when we don't sleep well, we gain fat and our stress goes up and it ruins our whole life. But here's something I want to talk about. And in my practices, we do a lot of regenerative medicine. We do a lot of stem cell injections. We do a lot of exosome treatments, a lot of natural joint repair work. With osteoarthritis, when you have osteoarthritis, which if you talk to anybody about osteoarthritis, it's when you start to get degeneration of the cartilage between two joints, right? Cartilage is the shock absorber. And if that cartilage starts to wear and tear, what happens is the body produces a chemical. When it starts to wear and tear, the body produces a chemical called hyaluronan. Hyaluronan sends a signal to the body to make that degeneration speed up. It's kind of like once it starts to decay, it wants to finish itself off. It's a process the body goes through. Xanthohumol, which is in our HapiHumol, slows down the hyaluronan production in the body. So it slows down the breakdown of arthritis. It's also a COX-1 and COX-2 inhibitor, which means it reduces inflammation and pain. So it's going to make you feel better. It also speeds up something in the body called an osteoblast. An osteoblast, yes, it can help with back pain, of course. An osteoblast is a cell that makes bone and joints regenerate. Osteoblast makes them regenerate. It improves that. Xanthohumol has been shown to do that. It also reduces osteoclast. Okay. Osteoclast is the breakdown or degeneration. So we want to speed up the regeneration of healthy new bone so we can do everything we can to prevent osteoporosis, osteopenia, joint pain, osteomyelitis, all that kind of stuff. And we want to minimize our bones breakdown. So that's kind of a big deal. And then the last thing I want to talk about is it helps a lot with hormone balance. This is just Xanthohumol, one thing that's in the HapiHumol, one big thing that's in the HapiHumol, but one piece of it, okay? It also helps with estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone balance, which is hormone balance, which, by the way, cortisol is part of that as well. So if we can get estrogen to balance, and estrogen dominance is one of the biggest problems with women, that's where symptoms of like headaches and migraines come from in women, polycystic ovarian syndrome, hair growing in places it shouldn't grow, all kinds of stuff happens when estrogen gets out of balance. Xanthohumol has been shown to help with that. Okay, that plus a balanced diet, exercise, de-stress, sleeping, etc. So that's just one piece that's in the HapiHumol. What do you guys think about that? I mean, how is anybody else's mind blown? That's just one component of it. Let's talk about what else is in this. So not only do we have the Xanthohumol, yeah, I know everybody's showing me the mind blown pictures. I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We also have in this high dose levels of a nutrient called, and people pronounce it different. It's just like tomatoes and tomatoes. I call it curcumin. Some people call it curcumin. Some people call it whatever. It's a spice that's been used in Ayurvedic medicine, which is Indian medicine, since the beginning of medicine. And most of you know that curcumin or coumarin helps reduce inflammation. Well, we have a tremendous amount of curcumin in here in a form called C3. And it's a bioavailable form that reduces inflammation, reduces pain, etc. So bottom line is, not only does Xanthohumol reduce pain and inflammation, so does the curcumin we put in here. We put extra curcumin in to reduce more pain and inflammation. That'll reduce joint pain, arthritic stuff, and then internal inflammation. You see, most people, because of the standard American diet, have inflammation all over their body and inside their system. So the curcumin helps with that as well, which is awesome. Now, curcumin needs another nutrient in it that's going to help it be absorbed better. By the way, we want to make sure we have increased bioavailability as well. Yes, people that have had a full hysterectomy can have this. Yes, this could help with fibromyalgia. Yes, this could help with all kinds of stuff. But we've got another nutrient that we put in here, which is called, you guys already know what it is, black pepper. The bioberberine, or berberine or bioberberine, however you say it, it's black pepper in a concentrated form that mixed with curcumin allows for the bioavailability to work better. So think about this. You got xanthohumol, you got curcumin, you got all these anti-inflammatories, all this stuff in the body, but you got to open up the cells so that it drives the nutrients in. I mean, it's one thing to, if I were to fill this bottle of water up all the way to the top, it's one thing to fill it up, but if I've got holes inside of it, it's going to leak out. Well, we want to increase the bioavailability of the product. Okay. So the bioperine does that. It's black pepper, but it's a specific nutrient compound that allows the body to absorb the nutrients better. It increases the bioavailability of everything in your body, everything from CoQ10 to minerals to vitamin C to beta carotene to all this kind of stuff. It improves the absorbability. So not only do we have a ton of healthy, good products in this formula, we have nutrients in it that open up the cells and allow it to drive in so it becomes more bioavailable. It's important to have the nutrients in, but if you don't have the bioavailability, it doesn't work. People say, do you need curcumin for inflammation if you already have? Yes. This is one of those deals where curcumin it's an herb that has been used in Ayurvedic medicine, which is Indian medicine. And I've studied Ayurvedic and Ayurveda for a long time. It does so much more than just inflammation in the body. It's good for the eyes. It's good for the skin. It helps detoxify the liver. I mean, you got to understand, it's way more than just pain control. A lot of people use curcumin, turmeric, all that kind of stuff with the black pepper concentrate in it to get rid of inflammation in the body for pain, but it's so much more than that. So think about what we can use this for. I mean, we got the xanthol that's going to knock down inflammation. We got the curcumin that's going to help it. We got the black pepper that drives it into the body even more. I mean, oh yes, all of this is safe for nursing mothers. Okay, somebody's asked that question about 30 times. Yes, it's safe. These are foods, you guys. These are not drugs. Like when you watch a drug commercial, at the bottom of every drug commercial, at the end of it, what do they talk about? They talk about every symptom that the side effects the drugs can cause. There are no side effects of this stuff. These are natural products. They're safe, they're healthy, they're effective. Now, we have another formula that we put in here to improve your energy. So not only do we want to reduce the inflammation, get the toxins out, balance the body, the Xanthohumol is amazing for that. The curcumin helps reduce inflammation, clean out the liver, helps the skin absorption of nutrients, etc. We got the black pepper in here that helps absorbability, allows your body to absorb the nutrients better. On our sheet that you'll see on the site, it talks about research that shows that these products help with allergies, arthritis. They're antibacterial, anti-obesity, antioxidant, bone health, antiviral, cholesterol, colon cancer, skin issues with high drug resistance, which is a big deal, osteoporosis, prostate issues, and much, much more. Okay. We have another product that we put in here called PQQ. And so what this is the best way to say it is it adds horsepower to your cells. It helps your body get more energy to it. It's a ATP producer. It helps with production and storage of energy. That's also in the HapiHumol, which is just, I feel like it's like, but wait, there's more, and there always is more. The PQQ product helps with mitochondrial growth. The mitochondria is the powerhouse within the cell. It helps the body produce more energy. Another powerful antioxidant. I mean, what it does with liver metabolism, cardiovascular support, and just overall energizing of the body is a game changer. So in the HapiHumol, it's going to give you more energy. Who doesn't want to have more energy? And then the last thing I want to talk about that's in here is one of my favorite things to talk about, carbon 60. Somebody write down in the message box below, carbon 60. I'm going to go over the top 10 benefits of carbon 60. Carbon 60 is one of my favorite molecules. You know where carbon 60 comes from? Anybody know where it comes from originally? Carbon 60 comes from the stars. We are made of the molecules of the stars. Everybody's body has carbon in it. Carbon is very healthy for the body. Carbon 60 is a game changer when it comes to detox, when it comes to cellular health, when it comes to carbon 60 is a game changer. So here's your down and dirty top 10 things that carbon 60 can do for your body that is in the HapiHumol. Yep, it comes from the stars. I don't know about UFOs, but it comes from the stars. So carbon 60 is a molecule referred to as the buckyball, by the way, because of the doctor who discovered it. But here's the deal. We're going to get into this deeper, but number one, it improves longevity. There was a study that was done in Paris some time ago, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about is this study. The study showed that people who are using carbon 60, okay, they actually had a longer lifespan. You know, and when they did the studies on the rats, they actually showed 90% longer life. Now, I'm not telling you drinking this is going to improve your life by 90%, but it sure is going to help you with longevity. The studies have shown that. Number two, carbon 60 acts like a sponge. Just think about this. It acts like a sponge. It acts like a sponge for free radicals, which are the stresses that come from oxidative stress. It's the little things that bounce around your body and destroys your tissues, destroys your cells, causes the pain, causes inflammation, makes you get older faster. Carbon 60 is a sponge for that stuff. It is awesome. I mean, just blows my mind what carbon 60 can do. I've used carbon 60 for almost 2 decades now, and it's so good. Carbon 60 is also a very strong anti-inflammatory. It reduces arthritis, just another thing that reduces arthritis. HapiHumol is going to be a game changer for so many people that have inflammation in their joints. I cannot wait to hear the testimonials from people that are doing this and doing it consistently. What I would love more than anything is to get you all on the triad, get you to commit to 90 days minimum of doing this. I'd love to have blood work done before and blood work done after. And I'd love for you guys to share that with me, because it's not just about reducing your symptoms, which it can do that, but it's going to make your function of your cellular function improve, which is going to make you a healthier person. I mean, between this, nucleotides, and tributyrin that we have, I mean, are you kidding me? It's almost not fair. It's no wonder Amplified and Happiness Brands are literally the fastest growing health and wellness company that's out there right now. I mean, look at the products we have. No one has access to this. No one has access to it. Please take me up on that challenge. Get some blood work done. Do it for solid for 90 days, but also don't just eat like crap for 90 days. Eat well. Get some stress relieving activities in your life. Start just moving your body every day. Maybe do some resistance work once or twice a week. Do that for 90 days. And I think you'll be blown away by how much healthier you feel and what your chemistry looks like. Your doctors are going to go, what did you do? Because they've never seen people get healthier before, you guys. Number 4, it improves immune system function. And that is a big, big deal. And it really improves the immune system response. Carbon 60 has been proven as an antioxidant that improves the immune system in multiple ways. But the big deal is it enhances energy production. It's antioxidant stress. And it really helps calm down overreactive immune system responses. Do you know what an overreactive immune system response is? Autoimmune disease. That's what an overactive immune response is. So again, you got the HapiTides, which look, you got the HapiTides right here. Okay, these are the nucleotides, basic fundamental building blocks of cellular repair. It's the building blocks for DNA and RNA function in the body. These chemicals tell proteins to go to work and repair. It also has a ton of fiber in it, acai gum fiber, which is one of the best prebiotics on the planet, which will help you grow your own probiotics. You all have good and bad bacteria in your body. This helps feed that stuff. This helps feed it. Okay. And then you got BioMyX with AD and K. Nobody else has that. You know how many people are deficient in AD and K? Almost everybody's deficient in D. And most people don't get near enough vegetables in their diet to get enough A in their system. They don't eat root vegetables. So getting K, they don't get enough dark leafy greens. So you're not getting K in your system. And the tributyrin is the delivery system that helps you absorb it through the small intestine. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Number 5, the free radical damage that gets reduced to neurons in the brain. Research has shown that this helps with neurodegenerative problems, such as things like Alzheimer's, dementia, but primarily Alzheimer's, what the research has been done on. Can you overdose on D? Yeah, it's very hard to. If you look at the work that Dr. Michael Hollick did, MD, PhD, he says the average person uses 5,000 units a day of vitamin D. And if you live above the 35th parallel, which is basically Nashville, Tennessee North, you're deficient in vitamin D, 365. So most of my patients, we tell them 5 to 10,000 units a day of D. And then in the summertime, we can back it down to 5 if they live below that 35 parallel. If they live above it, they stay on the 5, they stay on the 10. We test their blood as well. HapiHumol would be amazing for folks with MS. Why? Because MS is a neurodegenerative issue that's also known as an autoimmune type problem. Here's your number 6 reason why you should like carbon 60, by the way. It's shown to protect cartilage and improve bone health. What did I tell you Xanthohumol does? It helps with arthritic stuff by stopping the breakdown. Carbon 60 helps pull minerals into the bones and joints, and it helps improve bone health, osteoporosis, osteopenia, etc. So the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But that's the deal. So, okay, normally I only talk about products for about 30 minutes and then answer questions. But what do y'all think about this so far? What do you think about the HapiHumol? I mean, how many people do you know that you think could benefit from our HapiHumol product? I mean, how many people do you know that could? I mean, everybody should. Everybody should be looking at this. I'll tell you right now, if it's really just this simple. Leaky gut is so prevalent, and we can help correct that through the use of our nucleotides and our BioMyX with 80K. No question about it. Now you add the HapiHumol with it, all the stuff I just showed you, reducing oxidative stress, reducing inflammation, detox for the liver. That's what most people go through. When they start taking the right products, their body does what it's supposed to do. It pushes toxins out. But most of y'all's livers are so stressed out because of the standard American diet, stress, and too many medications, including medications that are injected into your food, like injections of antibiotics in your meat. So that's a big deal. I mean, think about that. And then you add the Happy Caps and the amped coffee. Are you kidding me? What this can do for nootropic nutrients for your brain, so we can fix the gut, reduce inflammation, reduce all these free radicals, help with insulin and blood sugar balance, all these things that Xanthohumol has been researched and proven to do. Then you can help with the brain as well, which, remember, we talked about, it was a couple years ago, it was all over the news. They were worried about not if, but when people were going to have neurodegenerative issues like dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. We need to do everything we can to stack the deck in our favor when it comes to health. That's what we need. We need more people less sick, period. That's what we need. And so I'm excited for you all to get started with this. You all should get on the triad. You all should be doing this. But again, tweak the diet a little bit. The gut health food plan, so important to do. Detox. Push healthy fluids. Get some good rest. Get a little bit of stress relieving exercise, even if it's going for a walk. And breathing or talking with a friend while you're walking. That's a huge de-stressor. So to me, it's a no-brainer. We have the opportunity to change the way that health is delivered. We have the opportunity to change the way people understand what health is. We're putting health back into the peoples. We the people, right? We the people are in charge of our health. So that's my story tonight. Keep it simple. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but
Can you hear me?
How about
Me?
that? Oh,
Can you
Robert,
hear
I hear you now. I hear you now. Yeah.
me? Okay.
Go ahead, buddy.
There's a lot of questions, and I actually had the same question in my head. So um, when we came out with Happy Tides, the nucleotides, with Dr. Epitropoulos, he taught that what he was doing for 16 years with nucleotides is when he has a new patient, he would put them on 3 therapeutic doses per day,
Right.
which had me started. I went from 3 to 6, and now I'm currently still on 9 servings a day of Happy Tides. So the question is now, with the power of HapiHumol, can we look at that, or should we look at that the same way, depending on, what their ailments are? Should people start that first month off with 2 or 3 capsules a day? The dosage. I told you what so can you talk about dosage a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. And thanks for asking that. And Robert, the reason why I would encourage people to start with a higher dose at first, because here's the thing, this is going to detoxify the liver quickly. And that's, once the liver is cleaned up, then the body has a better chance to burn fat as fuel, to shift from a sugar to a fat burn. That's when our body really heals itself. And the fact that we have so much oxidative stress and so many free radicals that are in our daily life. I mean, stress, food, drugs we've taken over the years, all that stuff's built up. So it's kind of like taking a sandblaster to an old car. The longer we've had stress, the more we've had stress, the more rust we have on it. So the more the HapiHumol, I would use it first to knock that rust off of the car. And so I would start with 2 to 3 a day. And then after a while, people can dose down. But it's one of those things that at first more is better, because of the fact of what it's going to do for the liver, and the antioxidant property and the blood sugar balancing. I think people are going to be blown away when they combine the nucleotides together with that fiber, with the BioMax, with the HapiHumol. I'll be blown away if we don't see people talking about how their cravings go way down, how their stress eating goes way down, and how their cravings for like sugars, sweets, and that kind of stuff goes way down as well. So I don't know if that makes sense, Robert, but that's what I would suggest for people.
So that's part one. Part two is there an issue? And I know you answered the question earlier, kids can take this product, but is there any one of these ingredients? I know the answer is you can't OD on Xanthohumol. I know this is all natural botanical stuff, basically food, but is there any of these, because there's still natural botanical stimulants, or not stimulants, but natural botanicals. So in your mind, of these 5 ingredients, is there anything that would prevent anyone from taking 6 or 9 a day if they had, for someone that's got some real bad stuff going on, and when you're putting someone on a program and you want to heavily dose them up with this, unicorn tears,
Mm-hmm.
Is there any reason why someone couldn't take more than 3 or 5? Or
no, especially with adults. Now, just think about this. Kids haven't been under as much stress for as long as adults have. So I've got no issues with putting kids on 1 or 2 up to 3 of these a day for a short period of time with some nucleotides and with some BioMax. That'll be no problem whatsoever. The things that you need to watch out for the younger kids is we don't want to overstimulate their body. We don't want to give them too much of the coffee. We don't want to give them the happy caps, that kind of stuff. This is a great product to give kids because of what it does for the GABA, how it helps with focus and concentration. I mean, I'll tell you this, the kids that come into my practices, 75% of them come in and either the complaint that their parents have, either primary or secondary complaint is focus, concentration, etc. And for adults, here's the one thing that you're going to notice. When your body goes through that detox phase, what's going to happen is, because you're getting the nucleotides, because you're getting the BioMax, the body's trying to push the stress out of the system. Because so many people's livers are screwed up, they usually get skin breakouts or they'll get a little bloaty or gassy. When you add the Xanthohumol, the HapiHumol with it, you won't get that, but you may get a little bit of diarrhea with it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just pushing the toxins out of your body. Have some bananas, have a little bit of toast, that kind of stuff will help with it. That's just short-term temporary. It's got to get the clutter out. And then once the body, after really 4 to 6 weeks, is a good place to kind of see if you're doing 3 capsules a day and you're doing 3 scoops of Biomax and you're doing 3 scoops of nucleotides and 3 pills of Biomax a day. Give your body about 4 to 6 weeks of doing that and see where you're at. Some people are going to need to be on that for up to 90 days. Some people maybe even more, depending upon how they feel. And Robert, one of the things that I've noticed, and I know you hear this from people as well, is they start off at a medium dose, then their body does well with it. They can go a little higher, and then they try to dose themselves down, and they say, I feel better when I stay up here. So go with that. Stay on that higher dose until we can start backing your body down. Just think about all the stress you've had in your life. Think about all the drugs and chemicals, that you've had in your life. Think about all the foods that we've eaten that have torn us up. Most of us have stress in our system that we've had since birth that we've never really gotten rid of. And so in my mind, the best triad is going to be this. If you're going to have the nucleotide, so the HapiTide, the Biomax with 80K, the HapiHumol, that's going to help all of this heal in the body. And then you want to add a little stimulation with nootropic coffee in the morning or a Happy Cap for adults. To me, that's a game changer. You do that with a good diet, lots of good fluids, rest, a little bit of de-stress exercise. And I'm going to tell you, as a wellness doctor, you're 99, maybe 90 to 99% where I want you to be. And then stay on that. You see, the consistency is the key. And no 2 bodies are the same. Everybody's body is going to be a little different with what they need, with what they don't need, and et cetera. So we'll be able to vet that out with each individual, but that's the protocol that I would start with. Does that make sense?
Okay, so last part of the same questions from a dosing perspective. So a lot of people, as you already know, are on prescription meds, blood thinners, all kinds of gamut of stuff. So blood thinners being a good example. Right. Does anyone or should anyone be cautious or more cautious because they're on some kind of prescription medication?
So the only medications, like the blood thinners, is a great example. The blood thinners are, people hear all the time that they're like, well, my doctor says I can't be on vitamin K if I want a blood thinner. I'm going to tell you something. That's also like saying that you shouldn't eat dark leafy green vegetables when you're taking blood thinners. Your doctor should be testing your blood, the viscosity of it, every 90 days to 6 months to see how well your blood's doing. If there are ways that you can help your platelets and your blood thin out naturally, you should do that. Now, if you're having problems, if you're getting more bruising on your skin because that's one of the side effects of these blood thinners can have, you need to have a conversation with your doctor to back off on your blood thinners, not off of your supplements. The supplements don't have side effects. The medications do. So my patients that come in, we usually do a full workup on them, get an idea what medications they're on. If they're already on a stimulant, like if they're a kid that's on an Adderall, or Concerta is a different deal, but Adderall is the big one. You just got to watch and see how the kid balances when you start adding Xanthohumol to them, or if you start adding some of the coffee with them, or even an adult. And I would rather you break down, lower the prescription dosage than lower the supplement. I don't know if that makes sense, Robert, but that's how we practice. And as far as sometimes people can have stomach issues with curcumin. But if you have the black pepper with it, which is what we have in the formula, they don't typically have issues with that. So this is what I love about this formula, is it's a balanced formula that really hits, every aspect of antioxidant, anti-aging, insulin and blood sugar balance, detox, and much more. So I don't think we're going to see many people have any problems whatsoever.
Just to close, I want to back up one step of a point you were making. I want to remake, because I have these conversations all the time. Very important. It takes, or has, some of us or most of us have been dealing with these, challenges of poor nutrition or stress and free radicals or all the stuff that creates this disease and illness for years and years. It's been damaging and aging our body, which is why we end up leaving the planet, right?
Too
but
early.
earlier than we should. But the point I want to make about that is it takes time to reverse the damage that some people have been doing because they've been over medicated or just the damage that they I'll give you an example. I use this example all the time. Colleen, 25 years on Prilosec, and with the tributyrin alone, she was off in 3 days. But that's not the point. The point is, what damage did she do to her microbiome for 25 years on Prilosec? And how many, not weeks, not months, but how many years realistically, and this is the question I'm asking really, is how long, I know there's no formula, but people shouldn't expect to just heal or reverse all the damage that's been going on for decades in 2 weeks or 2 months. Like this is a journey to better health. It's a lifestyle change. It's not this get, fixed overnight thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, you got to take the time to do this, and it could take months and months or even years.
Well, Robert, let me speak to that for a minute, because that's a conversation I have with people every day. I mean, you have to understand, I've had so many people like Colleen and other folks that have been on medications for 15, 20, 30 years. Well, now they're off their medication. That doesn't mean they can go back to that lifestyle. Like, it's not like winning a race. You cross the finish line and, oh, we're there, I can go back to China Buffet, which, by the way, you go to China Buffet every once in a while, no big deal. But if you're there too much, you're back on your Prilosec. And to your point, a lot of these medications, Robert, like Prilosec, for example, it literally inhibits the body's ability to absorb minerals. So not only has that medication, it helped her with her heartburn, didn't fix the cause, but it stopped absorbability. It stopped the protein pumps from working. So now she's at a higher risk for muscle disease, osteoporosis, fibromyalgia. All of that's happened on a cellular level. So her body has to repair from that. And what we know is this. We know that it takes about 90 days to make a change in physiology. We know that it takes about 6 months for that change to become more of a permanent change. We know that it takes up to a year before the neurons, and this is the key, our body is all wired together. Our cells in our body are communicating to each other through the brain. And the brain uses these neurons, these electrical programs or habits, if you will, to make new cells, which makes new organs. It takes up to 12 to 14 months of consistently doing something healthy for those neurons to rewire and refire together. And if you look at the work that Bruce Lipton did, PhD originally out of University of Illinois, he said that, and he's the father of epigenetics, which I don't know if you know about that, but there are finite genes that are the color of our eyes, our skin, our hair, etc. And then there are epigenes, which are the majority of our genes that turn on and turn off based off of our health and our stress. And what Bruce Lipton found was you have to consistently do something for a minimum of 3 years, before your DNA and genes can start shaping and changing more towards health as opposed to sickness and disease. And people say, man, that seems like a long time. But Robert, it took them almost their whole life to get where they're at. And the problem is most people don't start feeling their symptoms until they're like in their late 30s, 40s, or 50s. And the reality of it is that consistency over time gives you a result. So if you consistently do the right things, you're going to get health as a side effect. If you consistently do bad things, you're going to get sickness and disease as a result. And a lot of people have injured their system so bad that sometimes some of their organs, they never turn on 100% again. For example, people who have been obese for so long that they've gone from type 2 diabetes to type 1, that's very difficult, if not 1% of the population ever turns that back on, because those organs have been so damaged. But that doesn't mean that you don't stop working towards your health. I can't tell you how many people that have come to me with headaches, migraines, fatigue, depression, anxiety, all this stuff over the years, and we measure their body to see what risk factors they've got in addition to those symptoms. And we may knock out 4 or 5 of their symptoms. Their migraines might still be there, or their fatigue might be better, but not perfect. But now their risk for heart disease is not there, or cancer is not there or whatever's not there. People focus on their symptoms so much, it's not funny, when we really should be focusing on symptoms and function. And all I know is this triad, because of how sick we are as a society, is literally truly an opportunity for a game changer to help improve their cellular function. And if it was up to me, I'll tell you right now, if it was up to me, and I firmly believe this, we literally could change the world. By the way, the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is caused by sickness and disease. And I don't know if you know this, but 50% of people who go bankrupt because of sickness and disease have health insurance. And so I'm trying to impress upon you that those things aren't going to fix your life. You have to be in charge of your life. And so the more work we put into our body now and for the rest of our life, the happier and healthier we can be. I don't know about you, but I want to be 90. I want to be 100. I want to be 120, but I want to go out with my boots on. I want to be 119 and still chasing my wife around the house. I want my great grandkids to try to keep up with me. And the only way you can do that is to do your due diligence. You know, we pray all the time, but you got to pray while you shuffle your feet. You have to do your part. And your part is doing everything you can to supplement your bad lifestyle. The worse your lifestyle is and the sicker you've been, the more you need this and the longer you should take it for. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the deal. That's it.
So a couple things to finish. For the audience, as we've been putting this formulation together and learning more, as you can hear from Eric, but you know, it's impossible in an hour, even as talented as Dr. Naputi is, to try and educate you on the power of this product.
Yeah.
So go, the label's on this on your order, or it's on the website. Go check out these 4 core products, or it's on the brochure.
Yeah.
Go Google this stuff. I think I posted today, Xanthohumol.com has a wealth of information. Go search and learn about carbon 60. Go learn about PQQ. Go learn about the new Kuckerman C3 reduct, which is by itself unique. By the way, patented technologies exclusive to this formulation. Go do it's just too much. So that's number one. So, but for you, Eric, the request is, like you did the triad video. And by the way, next week, for everybody listening, the flagship triad will now become BioMyX, HapiTides, and HapiHumol. That's the triad. We'll still have people have triad with coffee or happy caps, but those are secondary. The primary triad will now be with HapiHumol. Yeah. So what we need, Eric, is 2 things, 2 new videos, if you will, over this next week when you have time. A new triad video featuring HapiHumol and a HapiHumol only, you know, it's condensed, you know, 6 or 8 minute version of HapiHumol, because, you know, from a marketing perspective, you know, it's hard to go have people watch an hour-long joint like this. So that's all I got.
I will get it done, no problem. I just, Robert, I want to tell you, I know I've told you this, but I want to say this to you in front of our people. This is amazing. Like this formula, when I first saw it, I mean, you saw my reaction. My jaw was on the floor. And when I saw what I know this can do with the nucleotides, with the HapiTides and the BioMyX with 80K, I mean, if by some miracle, and by the way, we should work towards this. If we get the opportunity to put every man, woman, and child in America, and I know there's a lot of Canadians watching and people all over the world, if we were able to put them on this triad, taught them a few little simple exercises they could do, tweak their diet a little bit, do you know how much we could literally change our healthcare system? And we could change sickness and disease as we know it. I know that. And so I just want everybody to understand the power of the opportunity that people have. There's no reason why they shouldn't be sharing this with every person they know. I mean, I was on the Zoom like 20 minutes before the Zoom was ready because I was excited to tell everybody about this. I haven't been so excited about something in a long time. Because and you know this, Robert, my mission in life is to help as many men, women, and children as they can get healthy. And I'm just telling you, this is a game changer. So thank you for bringing this to the world. And thank you for giving us the opportunity for sharing it with people, because my friend, this is where it's at. So I just wanted to say that.
We are honored and privileged to have you here on the team with us. I'm excited that you're excited, but there's another thing we'll talk about offline, but I think we can start talking about next week, something that happened this past week. And it was the epiphany and realization that what we're doing with these products by reversing this damage and clearing clutter, we are reconnecting the spiritual gateway of your physical self. What? You don't know that we baptized 11 people the other day?
I knew that.
He knows that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura's yelling at me from the other.
I know. I heard her. It's hard not to keep. It's so exciting what's happening.
No,
I mean,
but I want to start putting that as a primary focus, because it's so congruent with everything we're doing. This is not just about health. And to the point you just made, 350 million plus Americans alone here that have leaky gut. Everybody needs this. And this was before HapiHumol.
Yeah.
So now with this triad, officially this triad.
Our video just got banned.
Which video?
So the testimonial video we did last night. You know, the words that they said that we violated.
We're still dealing with spiritual warfare over here.
We're always going to be dealing with that, because when you're over the target, you're the first to be shot at, you know. And Robert, listen, and Laura, I know you know this as well. The body is the temple for the Holy Spirit. And the better we take care of this, I mean, Tony and I had conversations about this, man. When he cleared out the clutter and got all that stuff out of his system, it was like he was able to have an experience and a relationship with God he never had before. And I know that. And I've seen that.
We've been talking about it for, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah. So, you know, we're just doing everything we can to connect people with themselves, and for people to get the opportunity to connect themselves with God again. I mean, it's just a blessing. It really is.
So leave you guys with this. I think it's very clear that this is another product that the dosing should be amplified. So if you only bought one bottle per adult in your household, you should consider for this first month at least 3 bottles for one person in the household. And maybe we'll come out with a 60 or 90 capsule bottle if we have to. But Laura and I have been lucky because we've had the HapiHumol here as part of the testing that we've been doing. So I've been on 1 a day, but I don't have enough until they ship on Monday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to immediately probably jump to 6 because I'm on 9 of Happy Tides. I know that freaks everybody out, but it's a very different life. The stuff works, and I've been doing it a couple, 2 or 3 months now, and I'm dedicating probably at least a year, 9 servings a day of the Happy Tides with the fiber and everything in it, obviously. And so I'm really excited to add this new ineffable master molecule and friends.
Yeah.
So,
amen.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, everybody. You guys have a blessed night. I look forward to talking to you more about this, and those videos are on their way. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a blessed night, everybody. Bye-bye.